Alright, you are welcome everyone. Welcome to PowerPoint Mastery. We are going to be looking at powerful hacks that will enhance will enhance your productivity, that will enhance your efficiency, effectiveness in your presentation. I bet you these hacks are something very important, something very powerful. If you're a business owner, if you're a researcher, if you're a HR, you're a manager, you're an analyst, you are a consultant, you're a student, a graduate, and you make lots of presentation, this section this night, I guarantee you, will be an eye-opener. It will be an eye-opener this night when you master these hacks, these tricks, these tips that I will be dishing out this night that will help to enhance your presentation skill. Presentation skill is one skill that every professional must have. Is one skill that will help to boost one's productivity, to boost one's efficiency. Please let me know if you can hear me. We are live tonight. Kindly let me know if you can hear me. Drop in the comment section, drop in the chat box. If you can hear me, let's go. Drop in the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. I need us to drop our chats in the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if I'm audible enough before I proceed. I need to see our chat in the chat box. Kindly drop your chat in the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if I'm audible enough. I want to guarantee you that this night section is a very powerful section that we enhance your presentation skill, whether you are a newbie, whether you are a novice, whether you are a pro. I guarantee you are going to learn a lot. You are going to learn certain things that in this presentation. Here are the things we are going to cover by the special grace of God. Here are the things we are going to cover in this section tonight. We are going to be looking at the autocorrect, the crop and fill, transparent overlays, selecting and aligning objects, and the likes. A whole lot of this we are going to be looking at tonight. And we are okay. Yes, all right. I can hear you. Okay, thank you. Now let's quickly dive into what we have. Let's quickly dive into it. This is my slide. This is the PowerPoint slide. I have prepared this topic effectively, that we go from one topic to the another, from one topic to another, so as to have a proper guide. One of the things that makes you a professional, one of the things that gives your work makes your work so powerful, is how you present it. Visuals, presentations, and captivate your audience, captivate your investors, captivate your team members, and the likes. And these hacks are things that will help to improve your efficiency and effectiveness. The first thing we are going to be talking about this night is the one of, we are moving to the next, is the one we call the autocorrect. Now, in autocorrect is a feature that is an aspect of the back office, the back end of the back office in Microsoft Office. You can set it up in PowerPoint, you can set it up in Microsoft Word, you can set it up in Microsoft Excel as well. These are stuff that are available to you to help minimize your errors and to improve efficiencies. And what is this autocorrect? Autocorrect is, for example, if for example, here I type, let's say, welcome to, let me make it small letter. So let's say I'm typing now, welcome to Nigeria, for example, and I move this cursor, and that automatically corrects it. And let's say I now put welcome to Nigeria, automatically corrects it. Now let's say I now put welcome to class. Now you see that welcome to class doesn't really have that effect. It doesn't make it capital letter. If I want it to be that welcome to class, it will be in capital letter. Or I say welcome to England. You see what it does, because it has been programmed that when it's country to be automatically correct. Now, if I now put what the system doesn't recognize, if I insert what the system doesn't recognize, let's say, I say welcome home, and you see the H in the home is not capitalized. And I want to set up my work in the sense that these stuffs I'm going to be using, I want them to be the first letter to be capital letters, others will be a small letter. I can automatically put it in my PowerPoint that anytime I type, I will not bother to go out, I will not bother to go to home and try to come to this place and select capitalize each word. No, I will not bother to do that. What I will do is that those words that I know that I need them to be in or let's say I put here, let's say you say welcome to UK, for example, and you see it recognizes that aspect because it's been encoded. And I now say welcome to USA. The USA is not recognized, and I want USA to be in capital letter. So what do? I have to go to file. Once I go to file, I come down to this place, which is with option. I come down to option. Once I come to option, these are certain areas that we can set up. But what I'm interested in this night is this proofing. Now in this proofing is where you can set up different stuffs. You say ignore words in uppercase. In other words, don't flag it to be error. So, but where is our major emphasis is on this autocorrect option. When you click on this autocorrect option, you are now going to add stuff like replace this with this. Now I'm going to say replace USA, then I will come here with what? I make it capital letter with USA. So you see when I add that, then here I will now say okay, replace, let's do the replace home, replace it with home. So let's say these two stuff is what we have. I add it here, and once I add that, they are now say okay. Now after having done that, I will come here and say okay. So if I come here now and say USA, I move my cursor, I move set, automatically it update, it corrects it. Or I say welcome home. If I type this welcome home and move, you see that automatically corrects what we have, and that is the function that we call autocorrect function. You can set it up depending on the kind of presentation you have, and there are keywords that are going to be coming up in your presentation so often. Maybe the name of your organization is going to come up in your presentation so often, and you don't want to be going to this place, setting it up and stuff like that, or the name of the product or the presentation title whatsoever that you know occurs so frequently that you just have to set it up that anytime you are typing, you don't have to care what you typed. It will, if you are typing a small letter, it will automatically make it to be the way you want it. You can set it up. You can even set up to be that if you mistakenly type OME, let it be home. You can even do that. So this autocorrect is a very powerful feature, which I said is not only available in Microsoft PowerPoint, it's also available in Microsoft Word. The same way, go to your Microsoft Word, go to your Microsoft Excel, you can as well check it up. It will work. So this is the tricks or the tips number 1. Then tips number 2 is, we go to tips number 2. We go to crop and fill. Now, crop and fill is an aspect we use because when you are to work in presentations, you are going to be making use of pictures, you are going to be making use of images and what have you. And when you have an image, for example, let me remove this image. Let me delete this image. Now, when you have an image and you want to enlarge it, you want to increase it, some of us, what we do is that we come to insert, come to picture, device, go to device, and we have, okay, let me go to download. I think is where I have those pictures. Okay, now some of us, what we do is, let's say, let me import this one. Let me import this. Now, when we bring this picture here, what most of us does is if we want this picture to cover all the slide, what most of us does is we enlarge it like this, and then you stretch it like this, which kind of making the picture to be distorted, make the picture to kind of not have its quality again. The quality will be affected, the visuals of the picture will be affected. That is where crop and fill comes into play. We use the picture in a way that we make the quality to be there and its visuals to be there. So let me Control Z and Control Z again. Now, what do I need to do in this to retain its quality and visuals at the same time be good for what I want to use it for? Now, that is where I will have to click on the picture, go to picture format, and I need to state this, that anytime that you click on image or on shapes, a new tab will appear. By default, these are the tabs we have. But once you click for a shape and stuff like that, this is what you have access to. So we go to picture format. We come to this, as we can see here, crop. You click on crop and you select fill. So once you select fill, you will see there are stars at the edge. There are outline. There are dark outlines at the edge or at the outline of the picture. What this is that I can stretch this I can stretch it, and it will still retain its quality. Now see what we are talking about here. I click this, hold and drag. I will get to the end. I click this, hold as well and drag. So once that happens, what do I need to do? I will come back to this again and then select fill. Now you see what this does is that it zooms the picture with its original quality. It zooms the picture in with its original quality, which now I can decide to move the picture to select the aspect that I want. I like nature. I like nature. So let's say I remove the building aspects of the stuff. I need to align it properly. So let's say this is the aspect of this picture that I need with its original quality. So what do I do is, once that is done, I will come to this place. You see there is a demarcation, a separation between this. This is to crop. This is to bring other functions below it. So when you click this, it brings you a drop down menu. But once you click this, it will now crop up the picture. Now let's click on that. So now you see this, the image we now have. This is mostly when we want to use this to create a theme, a slide background. You are making a presentation on nature, sea and stuff like that. You can use this as a kind of background image, and that is the function that is tip number 2 in the aspect of crop and fill. This becomes our background in the aspect of crop and fill. That is on that. Then we move to the next one, which is called transparent overlay. In this transparent overlay, we are going to remove this. Let me remove this. Now, in the transparent overlay, let me bring them back. What we have here now, that looks so good, that looks so exciting, that looks so powerful and very enticing, we can create. If you notice, what we have here is the same as this picture, but kind of a different scenario. So how do we get this? Let's go back to this picture we have. Now, when you look at this picture, I can decide to go to picture format and go to transparency and select any of these. But if you watch, these ones here are not giving me access to change color. It's not giving me access to change the color. I mistakenly click on it. So it's not giving me access to change the color that I want. It's just giving me a kind of transparency if I'm okay with it. So, but in me setting up my background colors and pictures and overlays, I don't usually like using this transparency. I like setting up my own transparency and stuff like that, so that I can manage the colors, select the colors that I want, use the functions that I want to use, the tools that I want to use to make it look exactly the way I want it to look. So what do I do? The thing to get this. What did I do to get this? I will have to go to insert. When we get to insert, we come to shape, and then we select rectangle. Once we select rectangle, we come at the edge of this slide and draw. So once I draw that, it covers it. Wow, that's I need to change this. I need to change this. I forgot to do that. Okay. Now once that happens, I will come here and let's remove outline. There is something that I did which I will later have to change. Let's say we select this blue. We select this blue color. Now, once we select that blue color, which is what we want, is your choice anyway. It depends on you. Your choice. It depends on you. Now I will come to the shape that I just draw over the other shape and then right click. Once I right click, I go to format shape. I go to format shape. Now under this format shape, there are different options you will have access to. There are different options, but here the one we are interested in is this and the transparency. You can also change the color of this from here. You can also change the color from here, like you see, like you can see. But this is the one we selected. So once that is done, you can now come to this transparency and then click, hold and drag. You move it. You see how that is coming up now. You move it to the point where you feel you are okay. It's your choice. So that is bringing the background of that's bringing the background of the previous picture that you placed this rectangle shape up on top. This rectangle shape is on top of a picture beneath it. So it is with this transparency is giving one access to see what is behind the picture that is on top. So if we move it fully to 100%, it looks as if we are in the previous picture or the original picture that is behind the rectangular shape. If we bring it back, it comes to the stage that we want. So let's say this is what we want. Let's say this is what we want. Now let's say we are using this as a title slide or as for a presentation. Then I will come here, select text box. Select text box. Now in doing this, okay, inside this I will type, let's say I typed powerful PowerPoint hacks. Now here I can select a font. I like using Erase bold. I like Erase bold. I can increase it. And if one of the tricks I like using, because in presentation your arrangement, your alignment is one of the things that is look out for in making it to be professional. Well, one of the things, maybe you get a gig in Upwork to help prepare a slide for a client. One of the things that is used to check if you are really good, if you're a professional in preparing slide, is your alignment. How your words, how your pictures, how your stuffs are aligned, which we are going to be looking at in the next. But in this, one of the things I use to make sure that this is really in the center is to take this to this edge and then move this to this edge. So once I do that, I will now go to center align. Now I will be very certain that this is aligned in the center. So the next thing I do is to select white. If you want pure white, if you want some faint white, gray white, any one of your choice. Let's say we select white, and that is what we have. Then the next thing we do is you can duplicate this. There is no need of trying to draw another text box. Once that is done, you press Ctrl D. Now once you do Ctrl D, you can move it down, and you see that it's aligned properly. And one of the things in presentation, please pay attention and get this. Even if you are teaching someone tomorrow, even if you are teaching your team members, get this. One of the things in presentation we encourage, I said this in our first introduction, is to maintain font style, originality. And that's why I encourage one that if you are using a font, use fonts that has family. Use fonts that has family. And what do I mean font family? Like this Eras bold. Now under the Eras bold, you will see Eras Demi ITC. You also see Eras Light. So if I select Eras Light, it's still under the font family. And now I can reduce the size of that Eras Light. So this is a font in the font called Eras. That's the font. It has family, the bold, the demi, the light. It has family like Calibri has. So this, what we have here now, is one of the things we have used to create stuff like this. Now let's take for example, you are working and you want pictures. Like this kind of pictures, you are looking for how you can be able. This is now a very powerful stuff we have that you can use for presentation. If you go to a slideshow and you click, you see a very, very powerful stuff. So it's something that one can use. That's a transparent overlay. Now, if by the end of this, those of us in the group, those of us in the training group, please kindly remind me, there are resources as regards to some websites that you can get free materials. Free materials like pictures, like fonts, like icons, free stuffs, apart from the one you have access in the Microsoft PowerPoint. And one of the websites you can get access to is where is it? I think okay. Now one of them is Font Joy. If you are in this training, you check on the description of this section. You will see the link in the description. You can copy the link from the description. This Font Joy gives you parents that are compatible for presentation. Like when you come here, you see this compare with this and compare with this. In other words, you can use this for your title, this subtitle, and your content. You compare them. If you don't like this, you can as well go to generate. So in generate here, you can once that is done, it generates another font family, another font parent that you can use. So it's a tool that is very, very interesting that one can use. Okay, another tool is Pixel, where you can get pictures. I think I need to where you can get free quality pictures. Pixels, you can get free quality pictures from Pixel. I think this, that is this. So here you can get free quality pictures. Quality pictures you can use. You can search for anything. Is here that I search for, is on display. Is this place I got these those pictures as regards to see nature. I like nature, these pictures. So once you come here, you can get as many pictures as possible, top quality pictures, not pictures that will make your presentation look haggard, look dull. So you can use them anytime. They are free. They are free to access. So Pixel, you will see the link. You will see the link in the description of this course. So that is on the transparency overlay. Okay, let's see how much we can cover in this. Then the next is what we call selection and alignment. Now in selection and alignment, under selection and alignment, let's say you have you draw some shapes. Let's say you drew a triangular shape. Let's say you drew a triangular shape. Now, and now if you want to get a perfect, you see all these that I drew. If you want to now get a perfect square, I have drawn triangle, rectangle, and a circle. If you want to get a perfect square, hold down your shift. You hold shift and you draw. Now you see this is now a square. This is a perfect square. If you want to get a perfect square, this is a perfect square. If you want to get a perfect circle, a circle that have the same radius, hold down shift. If you want to get an equilateral triangle of the same size, you hold down shift and you draw. The sides are equal. So this is a bit of tips on what you can do. Okay, let me select this. If you want to select these items, these objects, they are in selection and alignment. There are different ways you can select them. You can click on this, hold Control, click on each and every one of them. That's a way you can select. Then another way you can select is coming at this place that can cover every item here. You click and drag. When you click and drag, all the items are selected. All the items are selected. Another way you can select is Control A. But when you select Control A, you will see that it selects all the stuffs on the slide. So what you just need to do is to hold down your control and deselect the ones you don't want. You hold Control and deselect the ones you don't want. This is a way to go about in selecting your objects. Now let's take for example, let's say I don't want this. Let me remove this and remove this. Okay, Then let's move these guys together, and let me bring this guy a bit. Okay, now for alignment, if we want to allow for alignment, let's say I select everything here. Now this is very important that you understand this. You go to shape format, you come to align. Now when you come to align, you will see align center. Now once it's align center, you see how they align. You now see align middle. You see everything coming together to form a design. With this, you can just look at it. It's already like a design. It forms a design, which is a combination of different shapes. However, one of the things that we will move is the selection pane. Let's say I want to work on the circle, I want to, or the triangle beneath, or this rectangle beneath it, or this. I want to work on each and every one of them, but I don't really know the one to select, the one to work on. That is where the selection pane comes into play. That is where this comes into play. We call it, you will see that selection pane. That is where selection pane comes handy. That is where it comes handy. It is something, that's where it comes handy. Something that we can use. Okay, now what do? We come to shape format. We come to shape format, and then you see this selection pane. You click on it. Once you click on it, all the shapes inside these slides are here. They are all here now. Now you see, if you click on text box 1, it selects this text box. If you click on text box 17, it selects this. If you click on content placeholder 3, it selects this. Now these ones are the shapes here, and I don't really know the one to use. So the oval is, I can come to oval, let's say I call it circle. I name it circle. Then I come to rectangle. This one is the square. I call it square. I come to the bigger one, and then I call it rectangle. Then the other one, you see that PowerPoint recognize them. I call it isosceles triangle, but I don't really need the isosceles. So let me. I don't really need the isosceles. So let's say this is the things I have. So with this, having named them, this will help me to know the one I want to work on. Let's say I want to work on the triangle that is beneath. Let's say I want to work on the triangle that is at the back. I can now come. That is where selection is very handy. This is where selection helps us very well. On this place, I can come to the rectangle. Look at this. This that looks like an eye. If I click on it, you see the rectangle is off. If I click on the square, you see the square is off. If I click on the circle, you see the circle is off. So I can have time to work on stuff that I need. Let's say here I want to call it, let's say I put in SOLUMA here, and then want to place it here. And once once I place it there, I will want to, let's say, make it bold. Let's say okay, let's say I make it this, for example. Then if I'm okay, I will come to the circle and click. Now you see that the circle is a bit, the circle covers the SOLUMA a bit. I can select the circle and draw it down. I can select the circle and draw it down. So once I'm okay, then I can bring this square. You see the square is cutting it off a bit. I can remove the circle so alone and bring it down. So selection pane helps us. It helps us to do a lot that I can bring in this one and then remove the square so that I can work on the rectangle alone. So depending on what you want to do, once you are okay, you can bring all of them back. You can bring them back and you see stuff like this. So selection pane is something that helps us to do our work effectively. So this is selected. So once I select all of them, I'm comfortable with what I have, I'm okay with that, I'm all right with it. Or let's say I don't want the outline of this one, I can select it, go to shape and say no outline, and I have something like this, and which makes it a bit clumsy. Anyway, that's by the way. If at all I don't want the outline of this, I can say no outline. So it brings it to this point. There are different stuff you can do. Let's Control Z. Okay, now another thing that can be done is that I can now select all these. Once I select all, I want to group them. You see, once I select all of them, you see here under this selection pane is showing you that all these are selected, and I can press Ctrl G to group it. So I can press Ctrl G. Now the Ctrl G helps me to group it. So I can hold my shift and drag. So hold my shift and drag. So now that is the stuff that selection panes helps us. It's a very, very important feature, especially if you are working with shapes. If you are working with shapes a lot in your presentation, you are using shapes a lot in your gets to the point where the shapes overlaps each other, then you can do another thing. That reminds me, another thing you can do, you can move the positions of each shape. For example, this, let's unselect this. To unselect, you press Ctrl Shift G. You unselect. So now to the triangle beneath, another thing, you can move the positioning of each of these. I can decide to bring this triangle that is here, I can decide to bring it up here. So I can decide to bring the triangle front and then work on what I want to work on. Or I can decide that the circle will be in front. So depending on the way I want it to be, when you look at it, it has changed the dynamics of this design or this structure. So with this selection pane, without altering anything, without moving this away, moving the other one away, you can rearrange their position in the way they arranged on each other. So that's one of the powerful features as well of selection panes. That is one of the powerful features for those that are using shapes, object images in our presentations. Okay, now having talked about that, that's under the selection and alignment. Another thing that I want to show us in alignment, let me Ctrl G and move this object to somewhere. Now, another thing that we have to learn in our alignment is, let's say I have this rounded rectangle, Ctrl D. I have this rounded rectangle, let's say their position differently, and I want to position them effectively, align them properly. I want to align them properly so as not to have distortion, so as not to be aligned haphazardly. So what I need to do is to highlight them. Once I highlight the 4 of them, I will go to shape, format, I will come to align. So under this align, I select align middle. So once I select on align middle, you see they are all aligned middle as it is within them, within their circumference. Then I will now go to each of them. You see the spacing between this and this is bigger than this and this and stuff like that. So I will still come to align and then say distribute horizontally. So once I select distribute horizontally, you see that each and every one of them are equally distributed. The space here and the space here and the space here are the same. So if I'm using this shape, let's say I'm using these shapes to type in something, I can now Ctrl G, select all. So once I select all the shapes, I can come to select align center. It's aligned properly. If you notice it moves a bit, come and say align middle. Now you see the shapes are now at the middle of the slide. So let's say this is not needed. It's at the middle of the slide, so I can put in whatever I want to use as my presentation I'm talking about, for example, depending on what I'm working on. So that is also another stuff you can use in your align. Another thing is, if you don't want to use your Ctrl G, the shortcut here as well, you can use this, the group, regroup and ungroup. This is the only one that is clickable. Why? Because this is already grouped. So I can click here to ungroup instead of pressing Ctrl Shift G. Okay, now that's having settled that, we move to filling shapes. Now let's say you are here in this place, you are making a presentation, and in this presentation you have this, like, let's say meet our management team. For example, you say meet our management team. Let's bring it to this place. Okay. Now you see meet our management team. Let's get back to it. You have this. Let's increase it a bit. Okay. Like, if I want it to be at the middle, like I said, I will stretch it. then select center align. I will be certain that. Okay, now the next we are going to is to fill. Sometimes we want to put pictures into shades so as to make our presentation look wonderful, look excellent, look outstanding. Like you see here, the picture of this person, and meet our management team, this person, the head of admin. Let's give it, let's say we give it this color, and then make it bold. Okay, now you said meet our management team, the head of admin, and you want to also put the picture of, let's say, the head of finance. That is okay. Yeah. Now let's say this is head of finance, and I want to put the picture of the head of finance inside this place. This is also where crop and fill helps us. But what do I need to do? I click on this shape. There are two ways you can put pictures inside this shape. Now watch. Remember, if I go to this place like I did earlier and come here and select picture, it will not work. For example, let's say I select this picture. For example, let's say I want to insert this picture inside this image, and I say insert. What do you notice? You see that instead of the picture entering in the image inside that circle, forming a circular form, it's overshadowed the slide. It comes in front of the slide, which is not what we want. So what do we want? We want the picture to be inside the shape like this one, so that whenever we move the shape, the picture will move alongside with it. And there are two ways you can do this. There are two ways. You can go to this shape, you select this shape, and then go to the shape format. Come to shape fill. Under shape fill, you will see picture. You will see picture. Now, once you select the picture, you come to file. But here I don't have picture of persons. I don't really want to use picture of persons that I know. But let me go to this. Why this is also another function of stuff that Microsoft Office gives. For those of us that are using the latest versions, Office 2021 or Office 2019 also have this. 2019 has that. I'm not sure of 2016. If you are using 2010, 2013, I'm not sure you are going to have access to stock images. Also, be known that it makes use of data. You have to be connected to the internet to be able to access these resources. Okay, so I click on the stock images. It will load. It will load. I think okay, now that comes up. These stock images comes up. Let's go to people. From here I can get to people. Let's go to people. The internet is a bit slow. It's loading. Now this is where I get the lady that I used in that first picture. So I will look for another person, let's say, okay, let's say we select this to insert there, and then we say insert. So once we say insert, it's still loading. Please, if you have any question, feel free to drop in the chat box. I will respond. If there is any question you have as regards to the PowerPoint in this class, feel free drop it in the chat box. I will respond. The system is a bit hanging. Oh, this is not usually like this. Okay, it seems like the picture is so heavy. It seems like the picture is so heavy. Okay, now from what you see the picture is a bit compressed. So this is where we make use of our crop and fill. We make use of our crop and fill in this case. So we go to picture format, and then we go to crop, and then we select fill. Now you see the picture is a bit heavy. That was why the system was slow and was hanging. So what I will have to do is, once that happens, I will move this so as to retain, like I told us earlier, this we will be making use of this so often, so as to retain the original quality of the picture. So I can move this down, so to get to this place. So once I'm okay with it, I will go here and say crop. So this is now what we have. This is what we have as against the original compressed, distorted picture that we have. So with this, we can go to the picture border and then select this. We can select this color and then go to picture border as well. The weight we make it this. Okay, we make it this. Now this is filling the shapes with pictures the proper way. Now with this, it will make your presentation to be very powerful, very eye-catching. Meet our management team, they will be inside that. Also, let's quickly do this one. Another way you can also insert the pictures. Another way you can also insert the pictures is you click on the shape, right click on the shape, right click. Now once you right click, you go to format shape. This is another way you can get it. You go to format shape. Now under the format shape, you go to picture or texture fill, this option here. Once you click on it, it brings the previous picture or texture that you have done, but that is not what we want. This is not what we want. We go to insert picture. We click on insert picture. Now once you go to click insert picture, it brings you to this place. You also go to the stock image. This time we will try to select a picture that is not heavy. It will load. Now okay, there are different images here. There are different images here. If I'm looking for, let's say, Okay, let me go to the cutout paper. Let me go to the cutout paper to choose. Need to check someone that seems that is only this lady that want to be heavy. Others are standing. Okay. Okay, let's say we select her. It will be heavy to load. It will be heavy to load due to, let's say we select her and we say insert. It will be I know the picture is heavy. I know it will be heavy to load. I think okay, while we wait for it to load, I can entertain your questions. Feel free, you drop your question in the chat box. Let me know your questions, if there is any clarification, if there is anything you need. And I want to use this opportunity to let us know that the section is ongoing. The session will continue tomorrow. This is a 5 days PowerPoint mastery in which we are going to gain mastery into Microsoft PowerPoint, and your presentation skills will be enhanced, your presentation skills will be improved. Is something that each and every one of us will definitely get access to. And our time is fast spent. By tomorrow we will complete our hacks. These are very, very important hacks. By tomorrow we will endeavor to complete it. I would have used Pixel to call pictures. I wouldn't have gone through the stock images. The pictures are too heavy. I would have used Pixel to collect the pictures. However, this section is scheduled for 1 hour, and we are already within the 1 hour section. We are already within the 1 hour, and having established that this is a way you can put in your pictures and fill in your presentation and make it looks very, 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 very presentable. Tomorrow we will be considering other hacks like the muff, like the eyedropper tool, and other hacks that will enhance your PowerPoint productivity, that will enhance your PowerPoint efficiency, that will boost your PowerPoint skills, your presentation skills. That is one thing that you must master. It's very, very essential. Every organization, company, every individual, one way or the other, in one time or the other, do presentations. So is something that I will encourage us. Tomorrow we will proceed. Tomorrow we will proceed with this. Tomorrow we will definitely proceed with this, and then complete it up. Now with this we have here, let's quickly finish up this. Let's quickly go to picture format. Then you see this is so compressed. That is what the Microsoft Office are working on background to try to compress it into this small circle. So, but this is not what we want. This makes it to look so childish, so unprofessional. So what do? We come to fill. We select fill. So once we select fill, we have the pictures in place. We can now drag it down. we can drag it down to fill in this, position it very well so as to ensure that everything is okay. With that, we can no, it's fill. It's fill rather. I made a mistake. Okay, with that we click on crop, and then we click on crop. You can change the outline. You increase the outline width, can change the outline, do increase based on picture border. Come here, if you need it. So this is what we have. You can do that as well to others with this head of inner. You can duplicate and position this here. Now you see there is a line that I'm looking for to guide me. Now you see that line. That is a line, is called smart guide. It's called smart guide. In your smart guide you to align stuff in a proper way. And this is where we will wrap it up. By tomorrow the same time, 8 p.m. African time, West African time, we will commence with the morph, with other eye-catching hacks that can help boost your PowerPoint presentation. I want to appreciate us for being present. I want to appreciate us for being present in this nice section. If there is any